Hey everybody, welcome in. I am Kimberly of Lolly Doodle Studios Art and Lettering. I have a series right now on how to paint trees from beginner friendly all the way up to more advanced painting skills. Tonight I want to show you um, how to make some gift tags with a simple little tree on the front. So they're going to remind what I have in mind, I should say, reminds me of a more of a neutral type of decor. So I stopped at my local um, Dollar General and picked up a pack of craft tags. So you get 20 of them in there. I want to say they were like $1. They may have been two, but no more than like $2. So 20 of these brown paper gift tags. I am a letterer, but I know not everyone is, and I want to keep this friendly, meaning something anyone can do no matter what skill they are. So when I was there, I also picked up this little stamp of the alphabet letters, and we're going to use these as well with paint. I did not buy any ink for stamping. So we're going to keep it pretty simple. I have three colors. I have a dark green. Exact color that I have here is Hauser dark green with deco art, but any dark green or really any green that you like, to be quite frankly honest with you, will work. And then I just have white. This is also deco art Americana. I do have an apple barrel here, apple barrel in burnt umber, but you could use any brown that you might have on hand. And I have a small round brush. This one is a Zen brush from Royal Langnickel, and it is a 0. So it is a tiny little thin round brush. So I have the two colors here, and I'm going to be using so very little of the brown. I'm just going to leave it right there inside of the cap. And I'm going to take one of my tags. I'm not even going to draw this out with pencil first. That is like just how simple this is. We're not going for super hyper realistic. So I'm just going to start by placing a brown line down the center of the tag. And I'm just making it a little bit thinner at the top, a little bit thicker at the base. But I'm not worried about perfection. I'll hold it up here a little bit closer. I kind of like that bleed off look. I'm just going to clean my brush again and dry it. Now, just picture an evergreen tree out in the forest, or, excuse me, a pretty Christmas tree with the branches extending out. So I'm just going to use the same brush that we just did that with, and I will keep my paint here close. And my dog's going to bark, so I apologize. I'm just dipping into my green with a little bit of paint, and I'm going to just kind of stipple, which means tap the brush. I'm just going to tap that green, and I'm just going to tap it. As I'm tapping, I'm kind of zigging to one side, and I'm going to zag to the other. But I'm going to keep it kind of tight at the top there. Oh, and that is a mess up. Let's just start over real quick. Look, everyone messes up. So I'm going to take that brown again. And depending on how tall I want my tree, I'm going to put my brown line right there in the middle. I'm going to dip right into my green. I'm not even going to clean the brush this time. I'm going to start at the top and keep it thin. And I'm just tapping that brush just a few times. And I know it's hard for you to see. Let me hold it up a little bit. But it is green right there on top of that brown. And I'm going to start coming off to the right just a little. I'm tapping. And then I'm going to come from the center and tap to the other side. And I'm just going to keep repeating that. I'm going to go back to the right. I can fill that in a little bit. And I'm going to tap now back to the left, back to the right. And I'm just lifting and pouncing. I'll bring it down a little bit here in the center. I'm going to pounce a little bit more off to the side. Pick up more paint as I need it. I'm just going to tap. I'm tapping with some like messy little dots, so that I'm going to pull back off to the left. I'm going to pull back to the right, and I am going to come down a little bit here in the center, because trees are three-dimensional. They're not just flat and go out to the left or the right and the left. They are three-dimensional, so we do want to make it seem like some of the branches are coming out towards us. I'm just that paintbrush, and I'll bring it over and off to the right again. And it's almost like a little upside down triangle. I'm going to bring some of those branches down the center and bring them out. And I can see some of my brown of the trunk that I put in there. You can still see that through the holes. I mean, it's not completely filled in with the green. It's tapping motion. There's a lot of holes in there. You can bring some of those pieces down. I'll clean my brush and just dry off my brush. This is so simple and easy. You're going to surprise yourself. If you feel like maybe you can't paint, I want to urge you to try this. Now, we're going to use the white. If you don't want snow on your tree, you could substitute like a lighter green for this white, or just stop where it's at. I mean, it looks really pretty just as it is. But I want it to look like some fresh snow has fallen on my tree. So I'm going to go over just in certain areas. I'm tapping some white in there because you want it to look like it's resting, falling on some of those tree branches. See, I'm starting in the middle. I'm coming down and I'm almost making little spikes with my snow. And for this tree, I'm just going to add some here and there. Let me see if I can come up any closer to the camera without it blurring. So I'm just going to take that paintbrush and I'm going to just tap some of those branches that come down the center. Can fill that in some areas, leave it sparse in others. And I'm trying to keep that to the top of each of those green branches. And you can see that just looks like a really pretty tree out in the snow, the wind swept, out in the forest and through the woods kind of deal. And really, you put as much or as little as you want. You can fill in some of those branches. But the trick is to leave some of that green there. Let's hold still and see if it focuses. Leave some of that green in there. Does not want to focus. Too close. There we go. That's about as close as we're going to get it. And honestly, other than because I covered up my stump pretty much with the greens, I can leave it at that. Or I can just extend the brown of my tree stump just a little bit, feathering it out a little thicker at the bottom. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Looks really cute, doesn't it? How simple is that? I mean, you could line these tags up. You could pop out tons of these in no time. So then I'm going to let this dry a little bit. And while I do that, I'm going to get out my stamps. These stamps are a little bit big. I know that I have smaller stamps around here somewhere, but I wanted this to be something that was easy and pretty accessible to anyone. So if you have, and Dollar Generals are everywhere, I think, anyway. I know Dollar Generals are pretty much everywhere. Because they're so big, like I probably won't get a letter on these that are more than, I'm just going to see. You could probably get like 1, 2, 3, 4 at the most letters in there. So I was going to put Joy on this one. So I'm going to find my J and my and my O. So there's my O. I think that's an O. So J-O-Y. Where's the J? Here it is. So if you want to stick with like that whole neutral theme, you could do this in like a dark brown color. You could do this in, hi, Cindy. You could do this in like a dark brown color. You could do this in a white. You could do this in red if you want to get that real nice pop of color. I actually think I'm going to grab my gold paint. And I just used it. So it should be right here within easy reach. But you guys know when you're live or doing something, the paint is not always right where you think it's going to be. So I'm just going to put a little bit of gold. And this is also a Deco Art product. I'm not an affiliate for Deco Art at this time, but I love the Deco Art products, and this extreme sheen will add like a nice little glow to this without without it kind of blending into the background. So I'm going to just use some of my gold paint. I could stamp it right on the plate, but I am just going to put my gold with a paintbrush right there on my stamp. Flip it, and I'm going to go straight down the side. So I'm going to put him right about there and hope that it gives me a nice decent stamp, and then I'll lift. So yeah, you can see the J. I'm going to go ahead and do the O in the gold also. So I'll try to eyeball that. I like the stamps. If you are not comfortable hand lettering or printing, the stamps are a great alternative. And so I'll see if my O sticks. It's there. It just gives it a nice homespun feel, I think. So I'll put some more gold here on the Y. Just kind of line it up down here under the O and place it. Press down a bit. Lift up. And I will hold it up so that you can see it. It's just like a nice little neutral topper. Put some ribbon or a string in there, and you've got a really cute little gift tag to put on your gifts. I do have one tree video in this series already posted on the channel. If you like this and you'd like to learn more, please subscribe and like our video. You can also follow me on Facebook, TikTok, and all the places, lollydoodlestudios.com. But I hope you liked this, and if you do try it, I would love for you to let me know. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. Happy crafting. You can paint. These are easy, simple DIYs. Anyone can do these. And this would just look so pretty on a package for the holidays. All right, guys, I will see you soon. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Bye-bye.